Al arte absolutamente nada.
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 ¿Y a la
Porque,
vida?
no, porque lo digo siempre, soy muy mal pintor por la razón de que soy demasiado inteligente para ser buen pintor.
Salvador Dali was one of the most controversial and celebrated artists of the 20th century. This exuberant Spanish artist is best known for his involvement in the Surrealist movement and his painting of melting clocks. Dali's eccentric nature made him internationally famous for his unique and mystifying genius. He began to read and study scientific articles at a very early age. The painter's library reflected that enduring passion, containing 100 or so books with annotations on diverse scientific aspects: mathematics, the origins of life, evolution, physics, quantum mechanics, atoms, and nuclear science. Salvador Dali was born on May 11, 1904, in Figueres, Spain. He was the son of a middle-class lawyer notary Salvador Dalí Cusi and his wife Felipa Domènech Ferres. From an early age, Dalí was encouraged to practice his art, and will eventually go on to study in 1922 at the Real Academia de Bellas Artes de San Fernando in Madrid. Living at the residence for students, Dalí met a group of young artists like Luis Buñuel and Federico García Lorca. During this time, he was influenced by several artistic styles and eventually found his own in Surrealism after traveling to Paris several times in the late 1920s. In 1929, Salvador Dalí explored filmmaking and Surrealism with Luis Buñuel in Un Chien Andalou. That same year, he met Elena Diakonova, also known as Gala, who will become Dalí's muse, inspiration, and eventually in 1934, his wife. In September 1939, Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany, marking the beginning of the Second World War. In the middle of the atrocities of the war, Dalí and his wife moved to the US. They remained there until 1948, when they moved back to his beloved Catalonia. Right after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Declaration of War against Japan in 1941. America had entered the war, triggering the need for nuclear weapons.
2 American superfortress bombers arrived over the Japanese city of Hiroshima on the world's most devastating military mission. The Enola Gay dropped the first atomic bomb.
The testing and explosion of the nuclear weapons made a deep impression on Dalí. He said to the writer André Parinot, "The atomic explosion seismically struck me. Many of the landscapes painted over this period express the great fear I felt at the news of that explosion. I want to see and understand the power and hidden laws of things so as to gain control over them."
Now, my interest is only about the tremendous progress of nuclear research and nuclear physics.
In this 1945 oil painting titled Uranium and Atomica Melancholica Idol, Dalí uses his characteristic figurative style with soft shapes in a dark background. Light only comes through the hollow spaces. In the back we see some elephants with elongated legs, elements we found in other paintings. We can easily identify the airplane, the nuclear explosion, the bombs, the naturalistic face with an expression of pain and suffering, probably making reference to his own fear. Finally, the spheres represent the atoms. Years later, Dalí painted the 3 Sphinxes of Bikini. There are 3 main figures in the painting: a human head, a tree, and a third figure in the distance that seems to be a mushroom cloud of a nuclear explosion. At this point, the viewer can notice that the 3 figures share the same shape of a nuclear explosion. In fact, the US tested nuclear bombs at the Micronesian atoll of Bikini. The similarities between the 3 figures suggest a strong relationship between humanity, nature, and destruction created by atomic bombs. In 1952, Dalí painted Galatea of the Spheres. It is a result of Dalí's passionate curiosity for science and the theories of the disintegration of the atom.
A new kind of atomic and nuclear mysticism.
Dalí wrote the Antimatter Manifesto, saying that today the world, the physical one, has gone beyond the psychological one. My father today is Dr. Heisenberg. In the painting, we see Gala's face. The portrait of Dalí's wife is made up of a discontinuous setting, with dense spheres that come from a central axis. In this 3-dimensional vision, we see that the spheres make reference to the atoms that create the whole universe. This is one of the most representative artworks from the nuclear mysticism period of Salvador Dalí. The icon of 20th century surrealism, Salvador Dalí died in his hometown, Figueres, Spain, on January 23, 1989. Dalí definitely contributed to the art world. The overall importance of science and technology in Dalí's career is clear. He was interested in keeping up to date with all the science and technology. Dalí was very interested in atomic and nuclear science after the explosions in Japan. He expressed his fear with art, and he later concentrated in the mystic, hidden, and complex atomic composition of the universe.